say.
It's a celebration. What's up, folks?
It's always a celebration.
All right, we're here because Marvel just dropped some craziness on a random Monday. Their new Marvel Studios celebrates the movie trailer, or sizzle reel, as Rob would like us to call it. It definitely is a sizzle reel. So we're not going to talk about the first half of the trailer because we're more interested in the new footage. But I didn't want to show too long of a trailer because of whole copyright issues. So the first part of the trailer is basically a clip show of all the great moments from Marvel movies past, and a new Stan Lee narration, which is a beautiful narration. We're trying to kind of rack our heads from where it came from, if it's pieced together from interviews or maybe he recorded this one of his towards the end or whatever they did. But let's react to that quickly, kind of the aftermath, and then even show a clip of the reaction of Endgame when spoiler alert, all the heroes come back.
You haven't watched it by now.
Yeah, very very fitting that Anthony Mackie comes in on Steve Rogers' headset and is like, "On your left," the catchphrase from Winter Soldier, and then they all jump in. So you kind of get like some really good feels, as you would call it. I don't know if anyone teared up during it. Rob, what were you feeling during that little snippet?
Yeah, so it's like a montage clip, as John said. It really kind of gives the whole clip, the sizzle reel, is about 3 1/4. But this part that we're not going to focus on right now really kind of accounts for about a minute and a half. And as John said, we've all seen this clip. I would highly recommend if somebody goes ahead and just watches a full 3 minutes, because it is really cool. It is I don't know where the Stan Lee quote comes from, as you said. It seems really fitting, tied together to what we're seeing. The whole idea is these are the stories that we have told. We have come together as a family. We've all witnessed life and death together, the great moments, the highs, the lows. And it does end on that very famous Twitter footage that somebody had posted, being inside of an Avengers Endgame screening in April 2019, when as you hear the Anthony Mackie and you see all the rings open up and everybody comes forward and everybody's clapping and cheering. And that's kind of the end of the clip. And then we get into what's coming into phase 4. But that prologue, I guess, is really cool. I mean, it does give you the chills and the feels of wow, because some of these movies we may not have seen for a number of years, and it kind of just it warms the heart, John.
Yeah. A lot of brothers and sisters together. They had Chadwick Boseman in there with Michael B. Jordan and things like that. Lots of great clips. Chris, did you went to see Endgame in the theaters? Did you have a similar experience, like the crowd exploding when the ending came up?
Yeah, it's similar to it feels like they do it once every big movie, like when Thor comes back from making the hammer, Stormbreaker.
Yeah, Stormbreaker. Yeah,
he goes down to Wakanda. Had the same kind of feeling, which is just like you get chills, right? You're like, you didn't know if everyone came back from the snap, and all of a sudden they show up, and it's the same reaction, like cheering stuff. I don't know if I'd be cheering in a movie theater. I think that's not the place you would do it. But yeah, that I watched that footage before, and it was
that's very Canadian of you. This is and it's not to be disparaging. In the US, you always see clips of people cheering during movies. In Canada, we don't do that. I don't know if it's our nature to be very reserved, but when something like that happens, you're like, woo. Oh, sorry.
You know what? I think it depends on when.
I just silently would get goosebumps, and then I'm like,
yeah. I think it depends on when you see it. If you go like the opening day, or like over here in Canada,
opening night.
Movies usually opening the Fridays, and then they'll have like a little like a smaller opening on the Thursdays, and I would usually rush out to the Thursdays to get to see this movie. And things like that would definitely happen during that opening night.
So the Thursday night, the
event.
preview.
Yeah. Endgame, unfortunately, I had to make a tough call, and I went and saw it in like a daytime show during the day on like a Friday or something like that. So the energy wasn't quite there, and there were kids there, which is fine. It's during the day. This is a movie for kids. I can't blame kids for being in the theater. But the experience wasn't as crazy as what they showed in the clip. So I thought that was very cool that they dug that up, even though it's a big no-no to be recording stuff in the theater. So, but I guess it's okay now. We have that moment forever. So let's talk so after that, we're gonna get treated to some new footage. So I've kind of seen a little bit of it here and there, but I haven't watched it in its entirety. I don't think Chris has watched it at all. Rob might have seen like little bits and pieces of it. So we're gonna play that clip and we're gonna react to that. I'm gonna hit pause a couple times. So hopefully you've watched the trailer already before, but we want to make sure we want to avoid the copyright claims and stuff like that. And we want to give a little more time for the clip to breathe. so we can have a little more fun
like a
with it.
fine
So,
wine.
yes. You gotta swirl
take
it around,
all in, yeah.
and then decanter and all these kind of fancy terms. So thank you again, folks, for joining us with
This
this.
is a guy who doesn't drink wine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I own these things, but I don't use them. But thank you everyone for joining us. Thanks for putting up with us for this, and we hope you guys are having fun with these two as well. So let's watch the last portion of this sizzle reel, as Rob likes to call it. I think it's officially called Marvel Celebrates the Movies. So let's rock and roll. Let's trailer reaction.
Let's go.
Good to go out. So they're gonna open with Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah, we've seen this.
But I'm done.
So that girl, sorry folks, that girl is potentially the new Black Widow, right?
Yeah,
she looks good.
She looks good.
She looks really good in this clip, and I really miss seeing ScarJo. So it's a shame that this movie being pushed back so many times. So let's keep going.
Running from my past. We have unfinished business.
Who's we?
All right, so July 9th is the new date for Black Widow. Take note, folks.
And as a reminder, it
feels like it's
drops in
right around the
theaters.
corner.
Yeah, and it drops in theaters and on Disney Plus Premium on July 9th.
Yeah. So you'll be able to pay for that premium, get it early service. So
my prediction for this movie is the mom is Taskmaster. By the way, I think that's gonna happen, man. The mom, like Rachel Weisz's character, is gonna be Taskmaster.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
So Chris was calling that Taskmaster.
Boom. Bold prediction number one. Let's go.
No one wants to call Hawkeye. I don't know if anyone wants to call Hawkeye
As Taskmaster?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
I just have more of a concern with everybody's got these shields. So we've seen Sentries. Shields don't always work. So I don't know why everybody's got shields all of a sudden, but whatever. You got red. Yeah, whatever. We can talk about it.
I'm looking forward to Black Widow. I definitely want Scarlett Johansson to get her due. So let's rock and roll. Let's see what's next. Oh, our boy Shang-Chi. Knife fighting. Mustang. Okay, we've seen that before. September 3rd.
Whoa, what is this? Hold on.
So this is new.
This is gonna be
right?
Eternals.
Yes.
This has to be Eternals. It has to be Eternals. All right.
Look at that Nomad Land like shot. Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah. So this is Marvel's first revealing of any real Eternal stuff other than maybe a couple press pictures and stuff like that. So
yeah, there's been no
interesting.
Footage, so.
Yeah, interesting that they chose to.
I want to see Kamal's physique, man. That's what.
Oh man, that guy looks jacked.
That's the most press this movie has ever had. Yeah.
Right.
Something to fight for.
Ooh, Angelina.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so November 5th, 2021.
You got to do a slow motion to see all the stuff in that.
Yeah. So this looks like a very short clip, unless they're going to show a little bit after this. Okay.
We're the ones who changed.
Gemma Chan. Oh, man, looks good. Oh, are they going to show Spider-Man? Okay.
No.
Yeah, so they're going to show a bunch of title screens with dates. So Rob, we've talked a lot about it on the Sidekick Show and various other things that we've done. Dates are always getting pushed back. Do you think Marvel is the reason? Like, it's really bold for them to put the dates here, and then if they end up changing them, so you think this is it? They're sticking to their guns this time. You think any of these dates are going to change?
Yeah, listen, they've stuck to their guns, quote unquote, for the past year and a half, firmly cementing Black Widow opening this day, that day. So, listen, and we'll probably talk about this after. We have 4 movies coming out this year in 2021. We have 4 movies over the next 7 months, and 3 of which over 4 months' time. So, I think they will. I think if they've made the commitment to put Black Widow in theaters plus Disney plus Premium, I think that they will do the same for these last 3 movies: Shang-Chi, Eternals, and Spider-Man. If things don't improve, if there is, let's say, a 4th wave into the fall, whatever the case may be, there will be theaters that will be open in some capacity. So I think that they are committing to those dates. I think they have to be very honest with you.
I think there's no room for them to keep pushing now.
No.
I think they might have learned their lesson from Black Widow. I guess we can I think there's only a couple of seconds left in this, so I guess we'll let it roll out and we'll talk a little bit about it after. So it looks like they're dropping titles for all the upcoming stuff.
Yeah.
Good.
Love and Thunder.
May 6th. That's close together. March 6th.
Wakanda Forever.
Black Panther. Okay.
Whoa, Miss Marvels.
Marvels.
Wanna watch?
Quantumania.
All right. Whoa. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh.
That's new.
Is that that's a Fantastic Four thing, right? At the
That
end?
was
It
a
is.
Fantastic Four logo
Wow.
starting to form, not quite formed. So
Huge.
definitely that's their first delve into it. And then they close the trailer with what looks like a tribute to Bruce Lee's 1-inch punch from Shang-Chi. So if you've ever studied Asian martial arts, usually the second thing in class after how do we kick some ass is can we learn how to do the 1-inch punch, which is a lot of mechanics as well as your inner chi. So we'll definitely not surprised that Shang-Chi is going to play tribute to that. So let's just kick it to Rob since he's the big Marvel guy first. A lot of dates, a lot of names. Wakanda Forever, Marvels with a S.
Yeah, so that's
Four.
What was that? The Marvels?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So we've got Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. I forgot the date. I think it's March.
March.
And you have Thor. Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder is May 6th. This is all 2020. You have Wakanda Forever, which is Black Panther 2. I believe it was July of 2022. And then The Marvels, which is November. So that's 4 movies for next year. The Marvels is interesting that they put that S like that. So here's what, again, purely conjecture based on what I'm looking at. We know that Monica Rambeau will be part of Captain Marvel 2. If they're now retitled it The Marvels, I think you're going to see Ms. Marvel, which is currently filming right now. She will obviously be part of this second Captain Marvel movie.
That's a TV show, though, right?
Yeah, it is. It's a TV show, but that the idea was that was supposed to drop in 2022. So if that drops in the spring of 2022, that works way right into this new movie. So there you go. They just released, we had some behind the scene footage of her costume. It looks pretty sick. So yeah, that's huge. That's 4 movies for 2022, and then 2 so far for 2023, which was Quantumania, which is Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which maybe you pick up on this or not, but when they actually did that little teaser of Guardians Volume 3, you could see the old school 1980s sound wave going. But they actually, it's very, if you listen to the music, you can actually, it's got like a very techno vibe. Can you play that? You hear that?
You can kind of hear a little something like
it's got this. So it's very 80s sounding. It sounds like what it sounds like is the end of the THX logo at the beginning of every movie that came out, right? Yeah.
So we haven't seen in over a year.
That's a lot. That's a lot of properties for this year, for next year, and that's 10. We have 10 movies.
Yeah. Well, we lost a year basically of
I was gonna say it's been a year since we've seen a Marvel movie in the theaters. Us here in Canada, I don't know if there's a different situation over US. If there was anything that opened that you could have seen, I feel like it's impossible, right? So we've been enjoying
Spider-Man, Far From Home, and that was it.
Yeah. So it's been a hot minute, and everything's moved to kind of streaming. There's a whole debate on how the streaming is working out, and if you start looking at numbers, opening of Mortal Kombat, Godzilla, all that kind of stuff dropping drastically after the first week. Who knows what's going to happen as things unfold. But yeah, it's been a year since we've seen some Marvel stuff. Chris, what do you think of that little sizzle teaser trailer?
It's amazing how much hype you can generate just from like title cards. Like
yeah.
Quantumania, like, oh my god, so much to speculate with Quantumania. And then just the making of the 4, you know what that is, and that's a huge thing. Like finally Marvel got the Fantastic Four back, and let's hope they can make something out of it, because it's like one of the OG properties in Marvel that like everyone loves. It's just mishandled for so long now.
It's got some love, especially those early Michael Chiklis, Jessica Alba, everybody movies. Yeah, I think they got a little bit. They got a little bit of love. Yeah, so I think they got a little bit of love. I don't know if anyone really liked the newer one that kind of didn't work out the way the director wanted.
Fan 4, one of the worst movies ever made. Yeah.
F4 10 whatever.
Sorry, no, it was Fan 4 stick or something they would call it.
Yeah. It was a bizarre spelling. We've made fun of it many times. So yeah, like I did like seeing a little bit more Shang-Chi footage. I hope to see them release an actual Eternals teaser trailer, because this did have the the Marvel hype music kind of over everything. So I want to see what kind of feel that Eternals is going to have. Like it looks really different. Like looks like they're out in the desert. It looks kind of like really kind of open.
As comic guys, do is this like a hype thing, like Eternals? Like I've just as just a movie guy, I'm not. Yeah,
it's a semi-obscure property. Neil Gaiman wrote something, one of their projects and stuff, and got a lot of heat.
It's a Jack Kirby original, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like an obscure property. I don't know if it's as obscure or more obscure than Guardians of the Galaxy. If a lot of comic fans, if you ask them, hey, is Guardians of the Galaxy movie going to happen? And then we'd be like, yeah, hell no. And then boom, it happens, and it's one of like the hottest things.
It has a raccoon as one of the main.
Yeah, it's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, fan favorite for everybody. So the fact that these Eternals are dropping and the cast is very different than what we're used to seeing. Yeah, so I'm very interested to see more of that. And without the that Marvel hype music is definitely iconic, but I want to see more. Like we really love the music from the Shang-Chi trailer, so I want to see more of that footage. I definitely want to see. I wonder how much he's going to abuse that 1-inch punch. I feel like once you learn that technique, you'd just be like every guy. You'd be like, pop, 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 pop. It's pretty funny. If you ever go to learn that, usually there's some. When we were going to learn it, the sensei Sifu told everyone to bring in phone books. To put to cover your chest, because we're going to practice these maneuvers, and he didn't want anyone to damage each other. I don't know if he was just trying to scare everybody, but it's a funny thing to happen. So definitely,
hey kids, phone books back in the 80s, books that you would actually open up now it's people's last names, when that last names, and then or you could go to the yellow pages, and that was all the store. Yeah. Like, hey, do you want takeout? Sure. What do you want? Pizza? Is pizza under fast food or is it under pizza?
Good luck. Yeah, good luck asking someone to do that now. I don't think they exist anymore. I wonder if they're collector's items. So anyone in the comments, if you know certain years of phone books are collector's items, let us know.
But what are you? Sorry, I was going to say quickly is that Chris brings up a really interesting point about the Eternals, the fact that we've seen nothing. I would say, to be very honest with you, 80% of the people who are going to be going to the theater probably have very little to no preconceived idea of what the Eternals is. Yeah. This is November. We are May the 3rd today. So we are 4 months away from this movie coming out, right? June, July, August, 5 months with zero information. So I imagine they are probably going to start to ramp up the hype train on this around Black Widow time, because they have to be able to tell a story and sell a story for you to go see this for somebody who has no idea what it is. So it is interesting that they've had nothing come out. I guess they also didn't want to usurp Shang-Chi.
That's true.
Right? Because that was so that was a little bit delayed. So hopefully we get something in July.
It has a huge ensemble cast of A-listers too. Like
it does, but there's been zero. There's been nothing about it, right?
Yeah, Salma Hayek as well as associated with it. I was going to ask, what are you most hyped for? But there's so much different things going on. Like I want to say Shang-Chi initial reaction, and then I also want to say Eternals, because I really want to know what's going on. But I also want to say Black Widow, because it's been pushed back for like a good solid year. So if anyone in the comments, let's not say what you're most hyped for. Let's if these were all available now, what would you want to see? What would you watch first in that queue? I definitely feel like I want to say Black Widow, just because it's been so long. What do you think, Rob? Yeah.
See, I'm very excited for Shang-Chi. But if I'm going to pick two, I'm going to pick Spider-Man: No Way Home, because we know that it brings in a lot of characters from the multiverse. So for me, that gets me super excited. But also then Doctor Strange. This is being directed by Sam Raimi, who did those 2 Spider-Man movies, 3 of them, sorry, before. And let's be honest, there's been a lot of chatter about people who've worked on this movie, this Doctor Strange movie, who it's very much a break from what happened we got before. This is a bit more of a horror-themed trip. So that really kind of excites me. So for me, I'm most excited for Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. Obviously, Shang-Chi for me is number 1, and then those 2.
Yeah. So, like I said,
I couldn't care less about Black Widow.
Whatever. I think we're gonna. I
don't care. I'll watch it, but I couldn't care. It's been too long.
I think it's unfortunately it suffered, because it got pushed back so far. The hype, unfortunately, looks like it's gonna have died down. But hopefully, once it gets closer to release, people will be really on board. Especially, we'll be missing our Winter Soldier, Falcon, and Captain America and all that kind of jazz. Chris,
it is odd timing, because it's like you feel like at Endgame her chapter, or Black Widow's book is kind of closed. That's it, right?
Agreed.
And now you get a movie. It's like, okay, I guess they really got to push the White Widow or whatever she is, the sister, I guess, to the forefront, and maybe she's going to be an Avenger or something like that. So I think
they have a lot of young heroes that they've brought up from Falcon and Winter Soldier. You know, that potentially the new Patriot, the new Falcon. So maybe this Black Widow kind of goes along with that, and they have a whole Young Avengers thing going on. But yeah, that's all speculation. They've already announced so many projects coming up, so I'm not even going to speculate on what's next. That Fantastic Four was pretty crazy. I think we can't really pinpoint exactly what looks like the best project, but I think that Fan 4 was definitely the most surprising thing to see.
That's like
in that drop of title cards.
But let me just say though, this is a phase 4 reveal. We have 10 movies over the next 2 years. That means very potentially we could be getting Fantastic Four in 2023. There's only 2 titles announced for 2023. And that's February is Ant-Man Wasp Quantumania. May is Guardians. And then they had that. So we could be having some information on Fantastic Four within the next few months.
Yeah,
that is a reality. You've got that Comic-Con's been delayed until was it November? Marvel doesn't usually attend, but they usually do a D23 sometime in the fall. We might be getting within the next 6 months confirmed information on Fantastic Four coming out in 2023.
Just the casting of it is going to be huge, right? Like everyone's thinking. I think I've seen a million fan arts of Emily Blunt and John Krasinski as the leads, but I mean, we'll see.
We'll see if the internet has made that happen. I think we
make
can
John Ho, make him Mr. Fantastic.
Definitely look up that Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, John would want John Cena as Invisible Girl because you can't see her.
There it is. I think we can go on and on about this. So thank you so much for tuning in, folks. Let us know in the comments what you're most excited for. If you are ready for this onslaught of Marvel stuff, having been away for a year. So let's hear it in the comments. Let's hear wild speculation. And get back to us. Hopefully you guys don't mind that we kind of pause the trailer here and there. Hopefully you did watch it beforehand. Definitely go and watch the beginning part, because that Stan Lee narration with the moments they chose from those movies is very, very heartwarming. Some feel good moments for your Monday morning. Thank you guys for joining, for assembling for this Heroes World podcast. New episodes every week. Usually Sundays we drop them. The Sidekick Show is live. If you're watching this today, if you're watching this on the day we released it, Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going live with the Sidekick Show. We do that every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this week we're talking about Point Break in our Keanu Reeves May movie marathon. So Point Break next week, we're going to talk about Speed. So if you like that, so please subscribe, get at us in the comments. Let us know what you think of these trailer reactions. If you want to see more and you want to see other properties, Rob's got some fun stuff coming up too as well. So you can follow him. That's his Instagram handle. His Twitter handle, I think, has no underscore in it. And I'll drop the links in the description. Thank you very much again, guys. And thank you everyone for watching. So we'll talk to you soon.